Well, anyway, yeah. While we're watching the loading screen, what do you think about this lane? You have
Uh,
Caitlyn Yuumi versus Lucian Panth.
we have to try and just get level 2 quick and go in, which I think we do, but I misplay badly.
Okay.
But we just, yeah, I start D shield here because it's Caitlyn Yumi.
So
It's a rough match.
how do you get level 2 in this lane quickly?
I want to try and push the first wave, and as the second wave is coming, finish killing the first wave, and then have my support take the 2 melees with his
Right.
item.
But what are you gonna do if they just walk up and start like harassing you? Level 1.
Uh,
You fight? Do you just back
I think
off?
we
Do
just
you
might have to just give up the level 2 then, because I don't think we can
right?
fight level 1.
Because in this lane, like if I'm Caitlyn Yuumi, I'm not giving up level 1. I'm just gonna push you off the
Yep,
wave with level 1, right? If they give up
yep.
level 1, they're trolling. So, um, what are you gonna do about it if they do that? Is my question.
Either fight or back up, but I think we should probably try and fight
Think you should probably try
because
and
we have
fight.
a
Okay.
Pantheon Lucian.
Right.
It's pretty strong.
Let's see. Let's see what happens in lane. Full screen this bad boy. Okay.
I do misplay a lot in this game, so it's pretty. I guess it's a good coaching game. I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, my team hard carry me, so.
Okay. So you're covering. Your Lee Sin is starting bot side, and you pull. Cool. Um. Okay. So, uh, when you're playing solo queue, my perspective is always try and take control of the game in your lane. If you're bot lane,
Yep.
like if you want to climb in solo queue, use your pings and use your brain. Don't just go along with the flow of the lane and let your support dictate everything unless they're playing really
Okay.
well. So my question is, do you want to cheese here? Is it actually like a winning?
No, I just want to try and start getting
Okay,
pushing for level 2.
right. So you should just be pinging the wave then. Okay, use your
Yep.
pings. Tell them to push the wave. That queue in general probably not worth it, but you know that.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think a big thing I notice is in like low diamond, people don't use their cooldowns very economically. They use their cooldowns and then they think about what they should use their cooldowns for. It's actually not a bad thing to just essentially think before you use your skill, just double check, do you need to use it, and then what is the highest value position you want to use it in, you
Yep.
might miss a few windows here and there because you're thinking about it instead of doing it, but that's how you learn. Because yeah, try not to blow your cooldowns, because then this shit happens because they're not scared of you anymore, right? So like right
Yep.
now they're trolling, they should just be walking past the creeps and just like autoing you. There's no
What do you
reason
mean?
for them
Yeah.
not to. You have nothing, you're useless right now. So uh these guys are just letting you play the lane for some reason. I'm not sure why. Again, this is let me just see how it plays out. Yeah, okay.
I think Glenn's.
Again, against the better bot lane, you guys are losing this lane already, right? So first of all, she doesn't need to
Yep.
cleanse. You don't have dash, and you're out of range of that. There's no reason she should be scared. Second of all, it's a Yuumi Caitlyn. They're just gonna it's a melee versus ranged matchup for essentially. Like Lucian is essentially like super short
A
range
melee.
champ, melee champ. But not only that, Pantheon's like hard melee. He can't do anything unless he's in melee range. So on the way back from every single trade, you're going to lose a lot of HP.
Yep.
So you only go in when you can get an all in. There is no going in here when you just to go for a quick trade, unless you have like health advantage, right? Basically, losing health advantage in this lane is very, very bad because it means you can't all in and you won't be scary.
Yep.
You can still kill them when you're behind, but from this position onwards, like what I would have been doing is spam pinging Pantheon and just saying hit the wave, like you need to tell him not to troll your lane like this, and also like I don't know, he's diamond, so he's probably not paying attention to your cooldowns, but he's going in when you have no Q cooldown, so that's just stupid. Well, you had it, but you were
Yeah.
too far away to even use it. So
I wasn't walking up there because it's like a kind of a poke lane versus an all in lane. I
yeah,
just wanted to get level 2 and all in there, so I
um,
was just kept hitting the wave, but he went in. I didn't really.
yeah, it is what it is. But try the thing is like the way you solve these problems, in my opinion, is just use your pings to tell your like when I lane with an LEC 80 carry, they don't just sit there and ignore me and don't ping. No, they tell me what they think we should do in the lane. They ping minions, they
Okay.
ping potential cooldowns, they ping potential all in opportunities. That's what I try and do as well. But you know, like if you're trying to climb, you want to have as much control over your bot lane as possible. You don't want to just be sitting there like expecting your support to play perfectly because they're diamond 4 as well, right?
Yeah, and I backed. I think I int my flash here. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
I should have been walking up as I hit level 2. I just see what I did wrong there. Yeah.
first thing is again your cooldowns. What was that Q for?
Yeah. I
You
just
know?
tried to get level 2.
Yeah. So they're already
Yep.
level 2. So there's no rush
Yep.
to get level 2 here. And even if you get level 2 here, you can't all in for 9 seconds because of
Because
your
of
Q.
Q. Yeah.
So like there's no point in using Q there in the first place.
Yep.
Like and also Pantheon should know this. Like going in here is just dumb as hell. But when he commits, I think it's fine to just insta E forward and commit with him because Caitlyn has no cleanse. Okay, so
Yep.
this could potentially be a kill if Caitlyn delays her flash for too long. But you need to E faster. You need to react to this a little faster because Eing now is already too late. Yeah.
I
So
cancelled an auto there. Oh my god.
yeah, I mean it's not that bad. You trade heal and like Caitlyn has no heal cleanse. You have no flash. Um, does your Pantheon? Did your Pantheon ignite? I don't think he ignited.
Yeah, he did. He
Oh,
did.
he did. Okay, okay.
Okay, so that's brilliant. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. Another thing is just I'll say this. Okay, I played some games with like Steel Young and also just generally with some friends who are in D4, D3. This happens way too much, where you chase a kill when there's 0% chance you get that kill. You
Yep.
have to try and think more in advance and be more predictive about your flashes. Okay, because
Yep.
again, you know exactly looking in hindsight,
Yeah,
you
I
know
know. I just
exactly that
inted.
this is just a bad flash. But in game, how you solve this is you think about it beforehand. I'm not thinking about do I flash now here. Okay.
I'm
I'm
thinking
thinking
right
about it
before.
here. Right.
Yep.
So when like 80 carries with good mechanics are not just impulsively reacting to everything, they're planning stuff out. Every player with good mechanics plans stuff out 5 seconds in advance. It gives you so much more time to think about possibilities. So for example, if I'm Pantheon, you probably heard me, Gio. I'm like talking. Oh, we could probably burst them. Just take the thumbs, something like that. You know, that's already my
Yep.
plan. I'm not looking for over chase.
Looking for the kill.
But like low mid diamond, you guys are gonna miss so many opportunities because you over chase in situations you like. You're a smart guy. You already know you can't kill there, but it was just like an
Yep.
impulsive kind of oh shit, and then you pull the trigger without thinking, right? Even though you know it's
Yeah,
a
I could
bad
have eat
flash.
forward straight away. Maybe if I eat forward straight away, we could have probably we might have
Yeah,
been able
you
to scare
probably would have
something.
gotten
Yeah.
the flash if you eat forward straight away. You would
Yeah.
have gotten the flash. Yeah. But here, like Caitlyn's actually happy with that trade, right?
Yeah.
She's happy with that trade. They still have exhaust, as far as I know, and you don't have flash, and you don't have ignite either. So there is like very little chance that they're gonna get pressured here. What do you do from this point on, though? It's not too bad for your lane overall. You push them off the wave. What's the plan here?
I think just shove this in and maybe we should look to shove this in and reset, and then the wave will come back to us.
Okay,
But I think I overstay and we get ganked.
right. So
Watching the games back, I kind of realized what I should do, but it's just in the game I kind of
yeah, that's totally
failed.
normal. I think I can try and be a little bit more specific then. After this play, just put a ward down. If you're gonna slow
Oh
push this
yeah,
wave
yeah.
like you are right now, put your trinket down so you don't get ganked.
Yep.
Because 25 seconds after that play, you still don't have a ward. So and your jungler's invading
Yep.
topside. So you're just not using your trinket ward, which effectively, which means yeah, you're making it kind of easy for the enemy jungle to just roll up here. Um, so again, your positioning here needs to change. Okay, so
Yep.
uh, you need to be in a kind of a triangle. Can you see my mouse? You can, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You need to be in a kind of a triangle here. So you're not in range to follow up on anything that Pantheon does right now. Even though Pantheon is in one of the scariest positions for Caitlyn, the reason she's not scared is because you're this
Because
far
I'm
back.
sitting there.
So she's
Yep.
actually walking up for this cannon, even though she shouldn't be allowed to. And it's fine. You guys recognize this a little late, but you go for it, and you even get her E, which is super good. But now you need to like don't give her space to breathe here. You know, like
Yep.
at this
Keep
point,
up with the.
at this point, the only issue is you don't have a ward, which you need to get
I have a
down.
ward down. Yeah.
But okay, what I do now is what do you want to do with the wave right now? Like right now,
Just shove.
yeah, shove ASAP. Right, you don't want to have to deal with the
Yep.
next wave because
Yeah.
also you see their
I
jungler
think we
top. I
don't
think,
have to, but
or
I
is that
can
whole
kind of
left
ping
top?
him to push one more, and I int it.
You see their jungler top actually. So in reality, you don't even have to push. Now that I realize This I hope. Okay, let me see if the video is processed and I can have better fucking quality because 360p hurts my brain. Wow. No. Oh, it is. Okay, easy clap. Cool.
Much better. Not.
So holy crap, I can see. Uh, so you see their jungler top, right? So
Yep.
essentially, what do you want to do with the wave, and what do you want to do with the next minute?
Slow
Is
push it and then push with the next wave as well.
slow push and push with the
I
next wave.
guess,
Is that what you do?
or wait. Try and wait for the next wave to come and then push that one in with this, and then reset maybe. Or I
Okay.
just kind of, and then I kind of in here and ping the next wave. We should have just reset here.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect time to reset, but
Yeah,
you don't really have a good item. So what I would actually do is, in my opinion, if you can get grievous wounds first back, then this lane is just
yeah. That's
so
what I do. That's what I do.
okay. Cool.
That's why I think this is why I've pinged this wave so I can get it next back. I think actually. Wait, do I get Grievous? I can't remember if I buy it first.
Okay, so you push the wave, you base, and you're basing, I believe, on a cannon, so it's fine.
I had to look for it here. Yeah, I remember now.
Cool. Okay,
That's the thing. That's the first time I bought it.
so you get grievous wounds.
New items.
I guess now what do you want to do with the? Okay, so you're first of all you're in a super advantageous position. Caitlin's like greeting for this wave when she really shouldn't be. She needs to base fast. So what are you gonna do with this this position now when Caitlin tries to start shoving?
Just try and keep it in my tower, I guess. If I can, I don't. I'm not sure I can make it there actually. Does the wave? If the wave, I think. But Pantheon roams, so I think I have to just let them crash it into tower there. So
You think?
I.
Why?
Oh no, Shizu. I probably could have just run in and
I mean, I don't think you can really stop them because they've already killed most of the
yeah,
wave. But you can freeze probably and force them to stay a little longer than they want to.
yeah.
But you don't have health pots,
I
so
think I
I
just
wouldn't
give it
lose
up.
too. Yeah, I wouldn't lose too much HP, so it's not a big deal. Okay, well now you have a slow push to the enemy, right?
Yep.
Um, now
I
what
should
what you
start
need
pinging
to
the
do
dragon.
is yeah, essentially just make a play on the slow push, right? They're gonna have to. They've got a really bad reset. You basically missed no minions. This is not a good word in my opinion. There's no reason for like you're not gonna get ganked now, right?
Yep.
So this word is
So
just a
maybe I
waste
should
of
have pushed
time.
this wave in and then just went straight to dragon or
What
slow
I
pushed it.
what I would have done was just slow push this wave. You don't need to do anything. You just leave the wave as it is. In fact, you know you have a shit ton of time because they just went base. I would just
Yep.
walk into their blue buff and put a ward deep ward down and then walk back. You know, or
Yeah.
even just if you don't want to miss any minions, just walk up, put a ward in this brush, like the little brush, the I don't know what it's called,
Yep.
but um,
Another one you're on about.
like you have time to do something, and also you're not at risk of getting ganked. So a river ward is just kind of pointless right now. You get way more
Okay.
info if you push your vision deep, and also if you want to do Drake, that ward is kind of useless because you're going to be pushing in bot lane. You'll have vision of river anyway. So
Yep.
um, but it's fine. So you're still pushing bot. What do you want to do? Like they're gonna come bot lane pretty soon, and then they're gonna start trying to poke you and fight you from the for the wave. So you need to decide whether or not you can fight for the wave, and if you can't fight for the wave, uh, is it worth just giving up dragon then? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I see Lee Sin's backing here, so maybe just try and shove now, I guess. What do we fight? Yeah, we get ganked here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Okay. So this is like turbo avoidable.
Yeah. If I went and put the ward in the enemy jungle when the lane was there, we would have
No,
saw
no,
him.
no. I mean, yeah, true for sure, but that's not really the point. Point is right there. You see Olaf
Oh,
and
we see
Gromp,
him.
right? So
Oh, okay.
this is like super bad to go for display. Um, Not to mention your jungle just reset, and your mid is like not looking to roam either. So when you're going for these plays, like again, this is kind of take control of the lane. You know this info if you're paying attention on the minimap and uh focused and ready to, you know, tell your support what you need to do, just ping them off this play because this play is bad. Um,
Yep.
and in fact, you'll actually it's just a winning play to just waste Olaf's time because they're a Caitlyn Yumi. What are they going to do? They can't gank you. So Olaf coming bot is such a giant waste of his time if you guys don't all in here. He's just waiting on that blast cone right now.
Yeah, I don't think I actually noticed him, but
Right.
I think Pantheon did. I don't think I should have been paying attention though, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, in general, these kind of things, you know, will affect the lane. But even here, right here, you don't need to dash forward. You just got the exhaust.
Yeah, just
This
keep
is
it.
already a losing dash because they've got Caitlyn flash still. Pantheon could potentially kill Caitlyn, but you're tanking all the minions right now. So like,
Yeah.
Pantheon's tanking the minions, but either way, I just chasing that. Like, this is what I mean by chasing that is such a high risk when you're not going to get the kill anyway because she has flash,
Yep.
you don't have flash. There's 0%
I think I
chance
just
you get
tunnel
the kill.
vision, I
Yeah.
guess.
So yeah. All right, cool. And then you come back to lane. So you come back to a slow push into you. What is going on here? So Olaf starts Drake. Oh, this is such a close fight. All right, so what do you, while you're watching this, what are you thinking? What do you want to do with your lane?
Caitlyn's about to kill her.
Probably.
I was pinging her off before she kept chasing, but she just carried on.
Yeah, it's okay. What do you want to do with the wave here, though?
Try and freeze it.
Yeah. So
I mean,
why do you want to try and freeze it? Just explain to me the reasoning behind it.
because then we can keep the lane here, and then we can probably look to kill them because Caitlyn has no flash.
Mhm.
With
Also,
Pantheon.
Yumi's burned all her mana. She wants to base. They have
Yep.
no jungler on the map, so it's super easy to freeze this lane and force it all in. But you need to thin the wave, so that's good. You're doing that.
I tried to, but then they.
Okay.
I probably could have just tanked it actually.
Yeah, just
no,
tank it,
Pantheon's
bro.
coming behind them.
Yeah, just tank it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's cool.
No, we just shove, I guess. Would it be better to shove here or just keep the freeze?
Thinking about that. I think you just shove and take dragon after Lee Sin does his bot camps. Or you just base if he doesn't want to do that. Hey, how's it going, Toby? So for 80 carries, by the way, just there is a lot of like micro stuff I could talk about with like how to get CS better, but you get that by playing and looking at your own replays and fixing your CSing patterns. Because there's a lot of CS you're missing for no reason, which is like what I just call an unforced error. You're just basically missing CS because you're not using your auto attacks properly, and that's fine. That happens at every elo. You just got to try and work on reducing that as much as you can.
Yeah, some games I feel like I get all of them, and then some games I feel like I missed like quite a few just by just clicking too much or like not paying
Like,
attention. Like
clicking
right there, I
there
could have
and
just
then
waited.
yeah, recognizing that, you know, that minion into that minion. It's like this kind of stuff.
Okay,
No,
that's
it's fine, but it's more like you have to be consistent as AD, right? The best AD carries I've played with in solo queue are consistent at getting farm, and they make very few unforced errors in terms of like getting their resources. So every CS you miss, it's like, you know, it's just probably the like, especially when there's no enemy laners, it's really rough on
I
80
think
carry
it's
to
just
miss
me
CS.
trying to like shove. I guess I just kind of
Yeah. So you're pushing this wave in. I think pushing is totally fine here. Plus Cracklacken, we're just doing a coaching session with Patrick, the Roehampton AD, or add a Roehampton AD carry. We've got multiple in our bag. So Caitlyn comes back from base, okay, and there's a big wave. My question to you is, what do you think you should do here?
go to dragon.
Yeah. Do you think there's any reason for you to be in front of tower?
I mean, I only stayed for a second to get the gold off the plate, and then I was gonna go, but I guess I don't know why I didn't go.
Yeah, like right here. So you know what I said?
just go Drake.
You've seen me in coaching sessions with the team talk about like don't waste your time doing something which is just a not going to gain you any pressure. This is what you're doing.
Yep.
You're basically just giving vision of yourself to the enemy, and you know you can't like dash into a Caitlyn under tower or poke
Yep.
them because they're higher range. So you should be with Pantheon or Lee Sin right now. Olaf dies here 100% of the time if you're with Pantheon. Okay, so like don't waste your time. There's no reason to be here. If you're a
Yep.
different champ in a different matchup, maybe you could argue you're going for poke, but you can't do that
Uh,
in this matchup, right?
my thought process here was just stay for the one plate and then go to dragon, but I don't know why I stayed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I
So
remember thinking to myself, I'm gonna stay for the plate and then move, and then I just kind of got had fun clicking, I guess.
who am I coaching? Patrick from Roehampton University. Okay, so again, like you see how this kind of changes the play around dragon, because like this is again quite a common thing is your team is committing to a play and there's like 3 different things happening on the map in this elo at once.
Yeah.
Like your Lee Sin is on dragon, you are like trying to dance in front of Drake, your Orianna is not there yet, and your support is moving towards their jungle to get deep wards while you're on dragon. So like there's so many different like uh there's so many different things happening on the map and it's not really coordinated. What you need to do is kind of coordinate your team, like make sure your team doesn't do dumb stuff like this. Like what I would do is I would be with Lee Sin on Drake, I'd be pinging Pantheon back because Olaf could be there, or I would commit with Pantheon and I just make the play more like consistent because this is a bit of a mess.
Yep.
Pog, Lee Sin mechanics. All right, cool. Okay, so they crashed the wave in bot lane. So you're in a bit of a trouble here. You have very low HP.
I should have just backed, I guess.
I don't think you should have backed. I think you need to call Lee Sin down immediately with Pantheon, but actually probably you could have backed. It's a tough one. But this is a very rough position to be in. And it's kind of a side effect of you just not moving to dragon fast enough. Okay, so you base here and you're losing a lot of plates for it.
I didn't want to get Kanan ulted, so I just backed.
Yeah, that's
So it's
fine.
like one Q by Yumi and I die, so it's not worth.
So you give up 2 plates, but then you're coming back into lane, so it's okay. At this point in the lane, like they shouldn't be allowed to walk up and play the lane if Pantheon is this fed. So, or rather, if Pantheon is this kind of level and has ignite, they just die. Okay, so you see Olaf here. What do you think I'm going to tell you to do now?
Shove or shove.
And then what?
Which I have. Ward.
Yeah.
I think I do go for a deep ward here actually.
Good. Yeah, it's fine. The pink ward's fine. Good stuff. You saw Olaf on rates, so you just walk in. Good shit. Easy. Great.
Is that the best like ward for that position? Because you can see him doing Gromp and blue if he does come down.
Yeah, you can place
and
it.
You can see him walk through.
You can place it here, and you still see Gromp and you see blue. But this is fine as well. I mean, it's somewhere in this area is fine. Yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as you can see the blue buff. So Pantheon ulted mid lane, and you're 1v2 bot. Okay.
Yeah, just.
What's the plan now, dude?
Just let them push and get the minions.
You think?
Or shove. Stand in the wave and shove it.
So take a look at the map and look at who's dead on the map and just tell me what you think you should do.
Maybe let them push a little bit so then Leon or Pantheon can come in.
I think you could just let them shove, yeah, and just gank them immediately. Look at Olaf. Olaf has to clear mid wave. Ziggs is dead, and your Camille has prio. So like potentially a TP from top lane, enemy top lane is really bad for them. So I wouldn't queue the wave there. I would just let them shove. Olaf's on Krugs. There's no reason to shove. Some shenanigans happening mid lane. Okay, even better. Their jungler dies, so this is like a guaranteed play for you guys. Now what I do, right, as soon as this happens, I start hard shoving, and we just call for the dive. Okay. So there's no counterplay. Like Pantheon can tank this tower for 75 years with a Z. So these guys are just dead. Like they should just die here. You're giving up the wave for no reason though. You should be ulting them off this wave. Like they shouldn't be allowed to hit the wave safely. You chunk them before the dive, and as Lee Sin's walking around. Okay, so Olaf's dead. There's no reason for them to be clearing this mini wave. Guy was enjoying a little bit of scenic time next to that ward. So yeah, I mean, these kind of windows are
I
kind
think
of small in game, but you don't need to do it impulsively. You can plan it out. Like when you see Lee Sin on Krugs, I think you should start thinking like, is it possible to dive? If Olaf shows somewhere else, then we dive. Stuff like that, you know? Like
okay,
you
yeah,
don't need to just be like, oh, Lee Sin's on Krugs, we have to do something. So okay, so your Pantheon roams mid lane, and
yeah. I don't know why I'm walking up.
yeah, you shouldn't be queuing the wave here. This is really bad. Especially even if they don't go for the all in, they'll just freeze on you and you'll lose lots of CS. So
Yep.
super bad queue here. Try not to do that. But you match the flash, it's fine. You get Caitlyn flash, it's not the end of the world. But when Caitlyn cues the wave, that hurt my eyes. God damn, why did she do that? Oh no. Oh, it's a disaster.
I think I end my ult here. I think they're gonna carry on, and then I. That hurts my eyes. That hurts
So
my eyes.
now you're in a real pickle because Olaf's play right now should be diving you immediately. And you just die here for sure. But where is Olaf? Olaf UK, bro? Wait, where the fuck did he just do Gromp and reset? Tell me he didn't reset. Okay, he goes there. Is he walking through their tri-brush? Where is this guy going? So at this point, I would back off and wait for your Pantheon, and then you can defend the tower, okay? But
Yep.
you have good vision, so you don't need to back off immediately, so it's fine. Okay. Oh my god, he goes mid lane. What a baller. Okay. So I'll have ganks mid lane, which is crazy to me, but that's fine. So in a way, like in my opinion, this lane, which should be technically over because of
It's still not.
Lucian Pantheon, is actually like Caitlyn is ahead of you now. Like in terms of gold, she has more gold than you.
Yep.
That's just because I actually don't even think it's because you necessarily misplayed a fight. It's more like your tempo is really messed up. Therefore, she's just getting massive waves and massive plate advantage on you. So Pantheon goes in here. You got to follow the pings, though. I'm watching this and I'm
Yeah.
thinking you
Yeah.
should walk up. As soon as Pantheon starts pinging here, you have to be ready for this. Okay, so
Yep.
right there, you shouldn't be
Like, why am
backing.
I walking
You should
backwards?
just dash
Yeah.
into her face here and
Yep.
just kill her because I think she's gonna probably get away from here. Yeah, she gets away. She should die there, 100%. With no flash, she's just dead every time. Oh, I guess she still dies. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
No, I was misplayed by me.
it's okay. Um, so, oh, okay. I mean, one thing that I would again, I'm a big advocate of taking control of the lane. I don't like, if you want to play solo queue and you want to just like, hopefully your support makes plays or hopefully your jungler comes to your lane, then that's a fine way of playing. But you're gonna get stuck at whatever elo you're gonna get stuck at.
Yep.
When you're in this position, you should be looking at the map and being like, okay, well, what can the enemy team do? Well, Olaf's mid. He's
No,
pushing in
that's
mid.
mid. Yep.
Olaf can walk bot pretty easily. TPs is a bit of a trickier one. You might not know if they have TP or not. But okay, Caitlyn dies here, and there's a
Yeah.
TP.
Right here as well. I heal because I'm thinking, okay, TP if Mordekaiser. I'm healing and just running away. Then I see a Ziggs
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay. I'll just stand around with him.
So they could TP in and it's fine. But then you need to also be keeping track of Ziggs, right? Because how many
Yeah.
times is your team pinging? I'm pretty sure someone's pinging. Okay, no one pings. Jesus. No one's pinging. Is anyone watching the map? Holy crap. Yeah, everyone pings as Olaf walks through try. I think you still live, which is fine. Did I see that correctly? Did he just do what I saw? What the hell just happened on my screen there? Is that me or? Okay, it's fine. So Olaf was moving down, and my general point is you should be the one to notice that, right? You shouldn't just let it kind of happen and then hope that your team notices. You know what I mean? So I think just keep in mind that you need to be looking at the minimap at all times, or at least as much as you can, and influence the play as much as you can. So they're invading
Like, just
here.
kind of let things happen.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just like roll over and let things happen. Apart from that, I mean, when we get to 15, I think we can call it enough. think the main things are more about like minion wave management and just like don't mess up your backs and your tempo so that you can actually. It matters a lot in these kind of lanes when you can all in, right? And if you mess up your tempo and you get stuck under tower in lane, you see how bad it is for your tempo, and you just can't all in them, and then like it gets really hard from that point onwards. But your team is like winning these skirmishes, so it's not as big a deal. But if you were behind in these skirmishes, then you would feel it way more because
It's just doomed.
Caitlyn would just be stuck to your tower right now, and she'd just be like destroying you. Uh, but because your jungler is like winning these skirmishes in river, it's not that big a deal, and Caitlyn can't walk up the tower as much. Um, I think this is a pretty good
It's
call.
like this, just actually just like spam ping and tell them what I want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a good call. This is exactly what you need to do in most of the lane if you want to improve. You will make some bad
Yep.
calls here and there. You just need to like learn from it. That's the kind of stuff you need to do. So it's
But
cool.
as
You
long as I'm making them, I guess.
yeah punish Caitlyn and you push the wave in. And at this point, I think your Camille is probably going to 1v9 looking at the state of the
Yeah, I
game.
think she does.
Camille is a
I
bit
think at this
big.
point I just start kind of autopiloting. Like I was autopiloting already, but now I just like don't even care anymore because it's like okay, the game's done. They can't win, which is a bad thing to do, but it kind of happened in solo queue.
I have lost I've lost some solo queue games where I thought that, to be fair, but yeah, I kind of agree. This game is like super hard to lose, but I mean it's possible. They do have a Yumi, so you know, and Ziggs. Things could get kind of messy, but this Caitlyn is molding, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'll call it there. It's I guess the main things to take away is basically like I try and explain this in the simplest way is efficiency. Everything in League boils down to trying to make yourself a little bit more efficient in what you do, whether that's how quickly you push the wave, whether that's what you do in between each wave with your time, whether your wards were actually efficiently placed. For 80 carries, it's a lot about your resource upkeep and making sure you're like catching waves properly and then giving yourself opportunities to be in the fights. That's what 80 carries generally focus on, right? Um,
Yep.
so like you could watch this again. I'll upload it to my YouTube channel, but um, try to focus more on uh, planning your like your movements in a little bit more in advance, 5-10 seconds. And what I do is ask yourself, like, what happens if, right? So, for example, the flash you flashed earlier, I would just say, what
Yep.
happens if I flash? You know, like in this all in, like what happens if I flash? Where is it? Like here, what happens if I flash? Oh well, she just walks away. I still don't, or she just
Yep.
heals. I don't have flash. And then in like the next scenario, where you get ganked, I think it's like, what happens if we go in here or something like that. I can't find the position in the game. Yeah, like what happens if we go in here when we saw Olaf on Gromp, right? Well, he's most likely just going to walk there. He also has a blast cone. You don't need to like go through this massive calculation in your head instantaneously. There's a lot of downtime during the game, and you got to get into the habit of like asking yourselves these questions during the downtime. Use the time you
Okay.
have effectively, because what I can see, and this is common in a lot of diamond players, is I mean it's just common in a lot of players in general, is the time in between the plays you're kind of just like chilling, you know,
AFK
or like
farming.
yeah, exactly. You're farming, and there's not much like planning or any sort of like idea of what you're gonna do next. It's just farming and being like, oh yep, lane's going okay, and then something happens. You're like, oh shit, something happened. I need to react to it, right?
Okay.
So, if you want to watch good 80 carries that can stomp solo queue, LEC 80 carries are very consistent in solo queue most of the time. Players like Upset, they play a very kind of annoying style in solo queue. He's very farm heavy, reckless as well. They play purely for their farm and for their resources, and then they just turn on at like 20 minutes and they'll take over the game. They're
Yep.
not necessarily playing the bully lane, and it's much more consistent because sometimes you won't be able to bully lane because enemy jungle will cap you. Um, so that kind of 80 carry playstyle is very strong if you can climb. It's also better in low elos because as an 80 carry in low elo, you shouldn't be able to, like, you're probably not going to know whether your support is good or not. You can't
Yeah.
decide whether you can bully lane or not. You're gonna be reliant on them. Supports are the laning champions usually, unless you're really like hard skill gapping the enemy bot lane. Yeah, you rely on the support for that. So focusing
I
on your
mean, this is the
CSing and your
problem though. But
tempo is better.
I enjoy playing Lucian, but I feel like he's not too great. in solo
Um,
queue. Well, he's good. Like if you have an aggressive support, but
yeah, I think
I think
Lucian
like
needs to get something out of
everyone
early
Caitlyn.
mid. Yeah, for sure. But I think there's a lot of room to improve anyway. Like you shouldn't be worrying about your champion choice up until well, honestly, I don't even. I'm not an advocate for worrying about your champ choice. I think you can make it easier if you focus on champs like Ezreal or Caitlyn in solo queue. But that doesn't fix all the problems that you'll have in terms of like knowing when to back, knowing when to reset, all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, right? It doesn't change that. So focus on those things, and then it doesn't matter what champ you play. You'll just be a better laner than most people. So
Okay.
cool,
Okay. Thank you very much.
no problemo.
I'm gonna actually start thinking about the game when I'm sitting there farming instead of just farming.
That is the number one way to climb elo. You know.